Oh man, my gloves are in the house. Ugh. Take two. All right, so, well, first of all, my goal is to help people catch a boatload of fish without spending a boatload of cash. If you're fishing from a boat, the biggest cost is, one, the cost of the boat, and two, the cost of the motor. When I began the search for how that I can get off the bank, I first built a P-row. It was a little, basically a canoe/kayak for a swamp. And then I eventually got a John boat with one of these Thailand outboards. This is not really a mud motor. A lot of people find that curious. It's not a mud motor. It is a genuine Thailand outboard motor. When you go to the country of Thailand, this is what outboard motors look like. Long tail. Why? Because you can take an off-the-shelf engine like a power generator engine or a car engine or a truck engine and bolt it up, and you've got an engine that can run on the water. It's meant to be a general purpose engine, not a specific engine. It's not meant for mud motoring. It's meant for general water performance. The fact that it can go through mud and thick brush and lily pads and vegetation, that's just sort of an added bonus. Number two is, because it uses off-the-shelf engines, I can do all the work on it myself. I've never taken these motors to a shop to work on them. You know, you go out and buy a motor and it's so specialized, with so many specialized tools, you got to take it to the shop and pay those shop rates. And for the cost of one trip to the shop, I can buy a whole nother Harbor Freight Powerhead and have a brand new motor. If I don't even want to work on it, right, I can. But let's say I need to overhaul the engine after, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years of really hard daily use. Well, how much is that overhaul going to cost? $50 in parts at the most. You know, a new set of rings, new rod, new valves, new springs, a refresh kit, you know, $50 maybe, and that's kind of expensive. You know, Saturday afternoon and I got a brand new motor. And that's if I want to do the work. If I don't want to do the work, just buy a whole brand new motor and put it on, right? 3, my whole motor, 13 horsepower Harbor Freight Powerhead with the SPS medium longtail, 100-inch shaft, longtail standard shaft. Cost me $925, about $350 for the Powerhead, of course, plus tax. Then right at $500 for the kit, the mounting bracket, the long tail, the coupling, the handle, the throttle cable, the throttle cables and the throttle and all that. By the time you add taxes and shipping, right at $925 for a 13 horsepower engine. Where are you gonna find a Mercury, a brand new Mercury engine, 12 or 15 horsepower Mercury engine for that kind of money? Where? You're not. It's just not gonna happen. And you're not gonna be able to run through mud and brush and vegetation. Because if you do, you're gonna mess up the motor and have to go and pay another $300 or $400, almost $1,000 to replace the foot on it, because you can't use the motor for anything but wide open water. It's a different kind of engine, a different way of thinking about engines. 3rd or 4th, wherever we are. I don't like looking like everybody else. If I see what everybody else is doing, I'm usually suspicious, because and it's been my experience that most people just simply want to spend money on fishing and they're not really interested in catching lots of fish. I remember, and I came to this conclusion when I bought my Humminbird down scan, side scan unit. It's one of my more popular videos on this channel. And as I was using this unit and getting used to using it and looking at everything, I said, I'm spending all my time looking at the screen and almost none of my time with the line and the rod and the bait and the lures in the water catching fish. I sold that unit and started catching more fish. And look, Humminbird is right here in Eufaula, Alabama. I love them. I think they've got a great product going on. But for me and my approach, all that technology just gets in the way of the number one most important thing. Put bait, lures in front of the fish's face during a time in which they're feeding. If I generally know where the fish are this time of the year based on patterns that I've discerned, I don't need a sonar. You just go to where the fish would typically be this time of the year, this time of the month, and put bait and lures in front of their face, and you're going to catch something. And my friends, that is why, well, I use a Thailand longtail outboard.